Hey, Ange.
Hey Les, how you doing? She just made me laugh. She just made me laugh. That's why I'm
I
laughing.
always make you laugh. But listen, I'm really glad that you're feeling better because I know you haven't been feeling well.
Whew,
and,
it's been
you know,
rough.
I don't like it when you're sick.
I know.
I mean, yeah, if you're too sick to record and all of that stuff, it's like you're too sick.
It was bad. And I realized that how much of an introvert I am, even though most people wouldn't identify me that way, but I'm really an introverted extrovert or an extroverted introvert. No, whichever. I'm definitely a mix, and I just
Wow.
kind of melted into myself. Haven't gone out.
But that's because you were ill. But you
I
found
know.
time to sew.
Listen. It's one of the things that you guys can see. Wait,
It's like a
you
balm.
See, look behind
like
me.
salve.
Wait. You see what's that behind me?
I
Can
see
you
the
see
sewing machine. I see it.
That's
Say
how
hello to my little friend.
That's how I find peace and just think. And I remember my mom a lot because I'm using my hands, and my mother's hands she taught me how to sew, but her hands are also my hands are very much like hers.
It's so funny that we both curate and appreciate and love sewing.
Mm-hmm.
I started to say creating, but I'm not as much of a creator as much as I am a sewer. But I use it to reward myself at the end of having to do something. I'm like, you're not going to get on the sewing machine until you finish this task. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy. And my mother, my freshman year in college, I had a sewing machine at home, and she forbade me
from taking it
to school
because she knows
freshman year.
What a distraction.
She knew.
Smart
she knows
lady.
me.
Yes.
She knows
She's
me.
like,
Once
you ain't staying up all night sewing. You're going to be staying up all night working.
We all have our things. I remember I used to, the thing with my firstborn was reading. And I mean, they're really easygoing, whatever. But the thing that you cannot stay up until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You're a child.
They used to have like 3 or 4 books at a time.
Under the covers with a flashlight. This was before the light of the phone was with a flashlight. So we all have our things.
God. And we all have our things.
My thing.
So wait. Welcome to another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn. You know who we are. Come on.
You know who we are. Hey, y'all. I'm Angela, and that's Leslie, my best friend of almost 50 years. We are two free-thinking, 60-something-year-old Black women, and we've made the decision to live in a more bold and joyful way. And we started this podcast so that we can share that with you, and hopefully you will join us on this journey. So today, we're going to talk about like self-imposed restrictions that we put on ourselves. Self-imposed, we're not good enough, or we can't do that, or that person is so much better at that than me, or that person, I could never do that. All of those things. But we're not going to talk about it from what people think of each of us, but ways that has shown up with us. And something
personal
happened
stories
this week.
about it.
Yeah. With Les,
and as usual, it was funny as hell, but then
hilarious.
It was pretty poignant, and it was like, wait a minute.
It was. But
before we get into that, I have an ask.
She has an ask.
You've been dating us for a while. I think it's time to make a commitment.
It's time to make a commitment.
It doesn't cost you much other than like us and subscribe. And tell your friends. We're into polyamory.
Yeah.
So we don't mind you spreading the word about how much you care about us.
No,
please. No, we'd like you to press like and subscribe. We come in about every week. Hit notifications so you know when we drop new content. I think you'll be happy, and I think you'll tell your friends. So
yes,
hit like and subscribe right now.
And if you do want to support us, we do have exclusive content on our Patreon, where you can join at the $5 or $10 level and get some behind the scenes. Usually after each episode, we stay, and the stuff that we don't want to talk about on screen, we keep recording, and that's what we share with our Patreon subscribers. So you can find us at the Bestie Quad Squad.
Yes.
Bestie Quad Squad. And there's also a link in our description that you can always go there and join us. $5 a month. Come on now.
Yeah,
Come
you can
on.
do that.
All right. Go ahead, Les. Tell them what happened. Tell them what had happened.
So you all already know that Angie is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Before she's done formal coaching, she has been my life coach for almost 50 years, right? We used to call it different stuff back then, but right now it's coaching.
It's coaching.
So I think she was telling me about either something that someone was doing or embarking on a new idea or some such thing. And I was so serious. I kind of quieted myself and I'm like, Ange, this was over the phone. I said, I really need your help.
She was aching.
I was aching. I was serious.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I really need your help with something because I just need some direction on what I should be doing. I think I want to do like a side hustle or a side job, but I don't know. I'm not good at too many things. That's where it started. I said, you have so many talents and abilities. I said, but, I'm not good at too many things. I really just have, like one thing or whatever, but I'm not. I'm like, maybe you can help me find something that I enjoy and can make money at or whatever. That's what I said. I was very serious.
And I was incredulous. I thought she was pulling my leg. So, okay. So, if you've been with us for a while, you know that Leslie is an anesthesiologist. You know that she really committed to her calling of being a physician when she was 36, a single mom at the time. And she decided that she was no longer going to defer her dream of becoming a doctor. And she applied to medical school, got in, and so on. These are some points. You may also know that whenever Leslie talks about her work, every time without fail, she would do it for free.
I would do it for free. I have done it for free. I've been missionary.
You might also remember that Leslie took a leave of absence for some personal reasons last year. She couldn't wait to go back.
I went back earlier than planned. Let me in. I was looking in the hospital window.
Wait.
Let me back in.
When you look at Leslie, the fireworks.
I didn't do that on purpose.
So if you put all this together, now I coach. A part of my coaching is on joy-filled money making, right? Mm-hmm. And so I talk about how you have to find out what it is that you are really gifted at and the things that you need, and make those things a part of what you do to make money.
I was desperate. I'm like, I gotta find something, Ange.
She's like, Ange, you gotta help me. You gotta help me. You help everybody else. There must be something. I was like, wait, Les, hold on. Wait a minute. You've already found it. You've been doing it. And what a bless. Leslie had no idea
that this was the thing that she was talking about.
That she had found her thing. It's still her thing, But she was kind of
I
in
was
a
looking
like,
out there. There must be something else. Everybody else finds their calling,
but
their
a
gifts,
part
their
of it,
fun, whatever.
a part of it was that you were beating yourself up about the fact that you hadn't.
I said that because I don't have my talents are limited.
You
Is how I look at it.
So I'll ask you something. I'm going to ask you something.
I feel kind of foolish right now,
Wait.
but you know.
but this is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
a real thing, though.
And let me tell you,
I wasn't joking when I said that. You know, when I
no,
asked for
she
help.
wasn't joking. And let me tell you a little bit more about the kind of doctor Leslie is, not the type of doctor, but the kind. Actually, her kindness, her humanism, the way that she shows up for her patients, their families, before, after. That kind of doctor that she is. Leslie won when she graduated medical school. She won. Was it the first? Were you the first recipient?
I was in the first class as a fellow of the Gold Humanism Society.
Okay. So she got an award basically for her bedside manner. Okay. So she's not just, and I'm saying just not to minimize it, but she's not only a well-trained physician. She also treats her patients as if they are family. And when I say that, she doesn't coddle family all the time. She tells them what they need to know and what they need to do.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how she shows up. So when she came to me, folks, and said, Angie, you gotta help me.
You gotta help me.
You gotta help me. And the other thing is, how much more money you think you're going to earn doing these other things?
That's what you said. You're like, you already have your fat job. And you love it. You broke it down so clearly. It made me feel a little foolish, though. You didn't reserve that part. But you said, it's like, Les, like, what are you looking for? You love what you do. You're not happy when you're away from it. You have a decent, lucrative salary. Yes. You're happy.
Yes.
What kind of side hustle could you pick up to tick all those boxes? Yes. And I said,
yes.
Never mind.
It was kind of like, let me get this straight. And you know, there's something we do called mirroring, where you repeat what the person said, almost verbatim.
I should have denied that I said it, like I've done in the past. Like I didn't say that.
So that they hear the way you interpreted what they said, right? And it's not your interpretation, but you know, you're trying to mirror what they said. And so when she heard me say what she said, she was
it sounded ridiculous. Like, but
the serious part,
you know, I know it sounds funny, you know, and it's, you know, indicting, of course, on my part, but I think it's something that's pretty common. You know that saying, you don't see the forest for the trees. Mm-hmm. So often I'm in these situations and I really don't understand my role in it. I have difficulty being an outsider looking in. I'm going to give you another example that came up just last week. I was speaking to my aunt over the phone, and I was telling her, you know, about my plans to, you know, we were talking about my plan to relocate to Panama and all of that. And she says, you know, Leslie, she calls me Leslie, not Les. So many people call me Les, but she says, you know, Leslie, you've always been so brave. And I said, what?
Wow.
And she said, you've always been so brave. And I'm like, what do you mean? I don't feel brave. And she says, well, look what you did. You've done this in your life, you know, with, you know, as you mentioned, you know, parent of a child, single parent of a child. You went to medical school at 36 and you did this on your own. And now you're just, you know, you're planning to relocate. She's like, I've always thought of you as such a brave person. And I'm like, Aunt Anita, I've never thought of myself in that way.
Wow.
I didn't,
Wow.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I always think about medicine and going to medical school. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
You know, I've said
Yeah.
that to you, and I
Mm-hmm.
believed it, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
I understand that circumstances had to be put in place and the ducks had to line up, you know, the Swiss cheese model. All the
Right.
circles have to line up. However, make the circles line up and then it happens for you. That's the way I looked at it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I presented that story to my therapist, right? And she's like, what? Say that again?
What did she do with me? No.
She did like a what?
What was
Say that again? And she says, you don't see yourself as brave? I'm like, no, not at all. She's like, well, making these decisions that you've made. I'm like, but I only did it because I had to do it. You know, like
Yeah.
in like parenting, you become a single parent, you stay up all night, you go to work in the day, you put your child to bed, then you stay up all night and you study and this and that. And she's like, and then you get a master's degree. And I'm like, yeah, but and then
That
I
butt
started
part.
sounding foolish. And then and she's like, well, don't you think that was brave? And I says, no, I got a master's degree because I was teaching. And I said, in case I didn't get into medical school, you know, that was going to be my backup, you know? So and she's like, she said, wait a minute, you're telling me you get a master's degree as a backup to doing, and I started sounding a little foolish. I'm like, maybe you're right. But it's so funny because in all of my years, I never looked at myself in this way. In fact, as you know, now the conversation's coming full circle. My conversation with you was started that I felt that I should be doing more.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, like what I'm doing, busy or not, it's like there must be more out there. And I think that's what really has, could be the type A, you know, characterization or so. But I think so much of my behavior over the years has been chasing something else,
Oh, wow.
looking for something else. And we've done podcasts about this
Sure.
previously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, like, have you started investigating like what's behind that? Is it? I mean, we say it's type A, but I personally don't even like that designation too much. Have you thought about that? Let me stop there for a moment. Foolish? You felt foolish? What?
Can you let some things go, for goodness sake?
You can't talk about my friend like that, though. You can't talk about my
Well,
friend
what
like
it
that.
is, you know, the way that you presented it to me, and likewise the way that my therapist, Christine is her name, presented it to me. I started, it's like, wait a minute, but isn't that so obvious, you know?
Yeah.
It was only obvious when it was pointed out to me, you know.
Right.
It was
Okay.
only obvious that I have achieved so much of my dream, and I know I have.
Yeah.
I'm very happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm unhappy doing what I'm
Yeah.
doing, of
Yeah.
course not.
Yeah. I didn't hear
But
any of that.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that it's like if your dream is here, it's like I'm here. But once I'm here, it's like, well, what else is there? It's like that bucket list thing.
It's the bucket list.
It's the
thing.
bucket list.
Yeah, I was thinking
And as
about
I
that.
said at the time, my friend, when I asked him, well, what's on your bucket list? He's like, bucket list? What are you talking about? I don't have a bucket list. I'm like, what? I really didn't know that people did not have a bucket list. It's
Right,
it's
right.
it's a thing. It's in
Right.
the dictionary. What do you mean you don't have it?
Right,
Everybody has a bucket
right,
list.
Right.
He
Right.
said, I absolutely do not.
Yeah. Les, do you think there's a difference between, either having one or not, but believing that if you don't do certain things, there's something wrong with you? Because there's a difference between, like in the bucket list example, you thought not having one was weird. And in the example here, you thought not doing more than what you're already doing. And I know your hours, you know, and you're on call and what that means and how that limits your movement sometimes and all of that stuff. So that part about, well, there's something wrong with me if I'm not doing more. It's like when it goes into that, it gets real, like, real shaky.
And I really do. I love that you're putting my personal business out in public.
Wait a minute. It's no use.
Oh, thank you. I was being very superficial here.
I can't take her anywhere. Y'all heard her start this, right? Because my therapist. Was that me? I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Got it.
But it reminds me, remember you mentioned, and this was several seasons ago, when you spoke about your prior husband, your former husband, and how when you
first former husband,
when you guys got the huge big house on the hill and all of this, it's like, okay, we're in our dream house and this, and right away he's like, okay, what's next?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Yeah.
So I too understand what it feels like to get to a certain place and look around, and it's like, well, what else, you know?
Right.
And I think that's what it is. It's not more the grass is greener on the other side, because I'm not comparing my life or my circumstances to other people.
Right.
What I'm wondering is, it's like, well, you got energy left, don't you?
Yeah.
So use it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So, okay, so we both are, the new term is sewist. We're both sewists, and actually I have some of the fabric I'm working with.
Sewists?
Yes. Sewist.
I will never say that.
Sewist.
I will never say that, but
sewist.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, be stuck in your ways, go right ahead. Anyway,
be 63 years old.
I was waiting for Leslie to join the Zoom, and I'm like, oh, I have 5 minutes. I could be working on. So I brought it to my lap, and so there's a bit of an obsession, right? But there's the kind of thing where you always want to be busy, which I think I have, and there's the kind of thing where because you were looking for something to not only that you can do, but that can make you money. And that puts another level of pressure on whatever you're doing when there is an outcome other than the satisfaction of doing the thing. And, obviously if you're sewing, you wear what you sew, or you have it up in your house or whatever, curtains or whatever, and you see it, and that creates satisfaction. But the part that kind of took it over the top for me is when you were like, yeah, I can make money doing that. What? What? You've
I've got needs.
What the heck? What are you talking about? But seriously, like, we have these. So the question is, and I'm asking myself this too, because I absolutely not about this, but I absolutely have parts of my life where I feel like I'm not enough. I could be doing better at XYZ, or and the pressure of that is really intense sometimes, right? That's why when I say thank God, I mean thank God. So I understand that part of it, and we're making light a little bit of this, but I think the bigger idea around when we are so hard on ourselves about whatever our thing is, and we get so hard on ourselves when we aren't kind of doing all that we think we should be doing.
Yeah.
Right. And the pressure of
what
that.
it is that I can speak for me, it's just not a big deal.
Yeah. Well, tell me what do you mean it's not a big deal?
I'm going to say like my accomplishments, if we want to call them that. Outsiders say it's a big deal, but I've never felt that.
Right. Wow.
I've never personally felt like a big deal,
Yeah. You're a big deal. you ooh,
I guess if on paper, I just don't feel like a big deal. That's all I'm saying. I don't feel as accomplished or finished, or is it a self-esteem issue? Is it an imposter syndrome issue? I don't think it's is exactly imposter syndrome per se, because I know exactly who it is that I am. I just say that I don't think it's that special.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of the areas where I struggled with this is I'm the youngest of 4. My siblings were always really smart in school. My eldest brother is a lawyer. My sister is a college professor. The younger of my brothers is an engineer. And so, and I'm an engineer also, but growing up in this family, especially with my sister, avid reader, just always excelling.
Intellectual.
An intellectual. And those weren't like, I was good at what I was good at, but I didn't feel like I never read as ferociously as she did. I didn't even like reading. And so I was, when mommy would tell us to read, I would almost stutter because I just felt so much pressure of who I wasn't than who I was. And I know those types of things kind of extended into my adulthood. I won't even say but, I'll say period. It is something that I constantly have to work at, right? Constantly have to work at, because my wiring is to kind of call out things that other people don't want to highlight, right? Like you're in a business meeting or whatever, team meeting, and something is the thing that everybody's talking about, but nobody wants to talk about it. Well, my wiring is, come on, let's talk about it, right? Come on, let's talk about it. But when you feel like, should I be the one to do that? Even though inside it's like, oh my God, why isn't it? It's got to be talked about somebody. And I eventually had to learn to be the one to speak it, because I had to push through but why do you think you're the one to do it? Why do you, and who are you to say that? And you're not the smartest one in the room. And, those things I had to push through to let my true self come out to say the thing.
I feel that
you know
way
what
too.
I mean?
I'm often in those situations, as you can imagine, in the hospitals as a patient advocate,
Right.
Very often, you're going up, you may be the only one in the room to say, wait a minute. Why are we doing things this way?
Right.
Or, did you ever consider such and such? Or to really talk to patients about, is this something that you want? Do you really, what are your feelings about this and whatever, and sometimes it's against going against the grain, because it could lead to them canceling their surgery or reconsidering or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying that I feel, for one, I feel that it's my calling, but also as such, it is my duty to be the advocate and to be patient-centered first. That's why I chose anesthesiology. I think that it was something that I needed to. I had only a brief time to interact with patients, but the importance of that time. Most people don't understand what anesthesiology is. Many people don't know that we're physicians. And I'll tell you, bar none, most people are afraid of anesthesia. They are not afraid of their surgery. Most people are afraid
Wow.
of losing control and
Wow. Not waking
some,
back up.
oh, that's the number one. Make sure I wake up is the number one thing that people
Wow.
say to me. I've
Wow.
had a couple
Right.
people say, you put me close to death and then you bring me back. And I'm like, oh, hell no, that's not what happens.
Wow.
So no wonder they're afraid.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
Right.
like, no, that's not what happens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Someone asked me just the other day, after you put me to sleep, do you leave? I'm like, what?
Well,
And I guess it's not
nothing is a dumb
intuitive.
question, right? No
Right, it's
question
not
is a dumb
intuitive.
question,
But I was
right?
like, I said, oh no. Every time your heart beats, I'm there to see it. Every breath you take, I'm there to see it. But people don't
Wow.
know.
Yeah. Oh
We'll
my
do
goodness.
another segment on like preoperative readiness or stuff
Yeah,
like
we
that.
have to.
I
We
mean, we're
did
getting
one.
at
It
the
was a
age
while
we
ago,
did. We're getting at the
but
age where we need a couple more
we need
procedures.
we need just to. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we might need a
procedures are
little,
coming up a little more
yeah,
frequently.
colonoscopies and all of the stuff.
All the things. Oh
All
my
those
gosh.
things, those invasive
Right.
testing,
Right.
just to
Right.
take a
Right.
look.
Yeah. Don't do that. Especially you talk about
Yeah.
colonoscopy.
But anyway, but yeah, it's, I don't know. And I know the pushback when I say, oh, anybody could do what I do.
Yeah.
You just have
Right.
to, work hard, study hard, put your, you really have to clear your life, put things in your life aside, people, friends, family,
Oh, that's
things,
all?
aside to make it happen. And then you bring it all back together and people are like, what are you smoking?
What are you
I'm like,
talking
just
about?
that. Just that for 20 years.
I have to tell you, this is a little bit of an aside, but it's funny. So I spoke to my firstborn this morning, and they were asking me something. Mom, I need some a physics brain. Can you help me to understand something? And they said they were working with these substances. One is water based, one is oil based, and one is silicone
Ooh,
based.
okay. A
And they
real
were
physics brain.
asking, why they weren't really functioning at the level that they expected. And so, I said, definitely there's viscosity and friction involved and heat involved. And as I thought about it from a physics perspective, I was like, it's time to call Auntie Leslie because this is chemistry.
I was thinking that. I'm like, this is
I'm like, this
chemistry.
is chemistry. This is not heat and mass transfer. It is, but it's going into the realm of chemistry and not my thing. And so
How
expect
could
a call.
someone
So,
not?
but this idea, all you got to do is this and
But
this.
you're right.
I could never,
Do
ever
this.
do that because I hate to say it this way, it would rip out my soul to be that.
Yeah.
And you got to
you're
do
right
it this
about
way.
that. You're right about that.
And don't forget, you can't forget this part right here. It's got to be exactly.
And it is
I
that
could not
very
do
thing
it.
that
Makes
I
you
dig and it
so
turns me
good at
on.
what you do. Yeah.
It's like
No bueno.
there is predictability to the world.
Yes.
And when there's not, then there's that.
Right.
Then there's
Exactly.
that. But it's
Exactly.
there's a certain order that I love it.
And maybe I'm going to take it back a little bit. Maybe I could do it, but I would hate it. There would be zero joy in it for me. There would be zero joy in it.
Well, let me say
me.
this. What I know about you, why you would not hate it. Because
I would hate it.
No.
Okay.
You're a flexible person.
Yes. Exactly.
And I also
that doesn't sound all routine to me.
Well, no. What I mean is you've heard of the term the art of medicine.
Yeah.
I
Art
think
and
that
science,
you
yes.
would pull out the non-organizational or regimented parts of the profession.
Yeah.
And that's what would feed you.
Maybe, yeah.
So perhaps maybe anesthesiology is not for you.
Yeah.
But some other aspect of medicine, perhaps that's a little more fluid, or that can, your personality can be fed in it. I think you can do it, but you're looking at it in such a rigid way. I like looking at things in a rigid way. But
Les, guess what? What about med school? That part.
Listen,
whatever I end up doing, I have to go through that gauntlet.
You do.
Thank
it's
you.
Like a 4-year hazing. It's like a hazing. But what does Monique say? Even the longest rope has an end.
Yes. But you know what I would be using.
And you don't have to get all A's in medical school. You just have to pass.
What would I be using the rope to do?
You just have to graduate.
I wouldn't be jumping double dutch. I'd be jumping, but it wouldn't.
But not double dutch. I hear you. It's not for you. Well, thank God.
No. Yeah. You found your calling. You found it early.
Did I?
And you know what I mean? But yeah.
And tell me one more time. Everybody can't do this?
Everybody cannot do it.
Okay.
Everybody cannot do it. Because, when you were reading off the parts, like, you have to do this and you have to kind of clear some space in your life and you have to do this and you have to do this. It's like you got to step 2. And it's like, no. That ain't for everybody. And then you have to bring it back. No, that's not for everybody. It's just not. No.
Then you got to have your son move in with his dad for 7-8 years. Then you got to go on rotations. And Monique has said to me, like, what do you mean you work for 36 hours in a row? Like really, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, literally, you go in at this hour and you leave and you wonder what day is it? Yeah. And how many times have I gone to the parking lot and had no idea where my car was?
Wow.
It was that long ago.
Yeah.
It's stolen.
Right.
That little hoopty I used to drive, I'm sure somebody took it because I parked it right here.
And everybody would want
security has driven me around that parking lot so many times. They want to say, like, you again, doctor. You again. No, they did not steal your blue Corolla.
Oh my!
With
that Corolla, that powder blue
milk crate behind the seat holding it up.
Les, man, you've come a long way, baby. Come a long way. It's so good to have been on that journey and so many more with you.
Yeah.
Really, really and truly. Really and truly. Anyway, all right. What else? Anything else you want to share?
No, I think it's just it feel like you just keep putting me in my place,
Well,
it's
I just like you keep keeping me around. You can't have me around and me not be me. Like
That's
you
true.
keep coming back. I
That's
think
true.
that you need to investigate that.
Yeah.
Shoot. You keep
well, I gave you tenure last year, so I can't fire you. I guess you're in. But honestly, leave some comments about this because I really think that these feelings and these behaviors and thoughts that we have that we're talking about, I don't think they're that uncommon.
Yeah, they're not.
I love it when you guys come on our websites or go on our YouTube page or whatever and leave comments and tell us what you think about these things. Very often, we always answer our comments, but very often it leads us to developing other content and having other conversations, as follow-up conversations. So we like that.
Absolutely. We do. All right. We're going to
Wait
bring
a minute.
In. What?
I'd love for you to mention your book.
Oh, listen. This is one of the places where
you're a coach. You're a coach.
I am a coach.
I've been using your services for free for decades.
I've been honing my services with you, so I'm grateful.
So you can't charge me because you weren't licensed. Now you're tenured.
That's right.
But no, honestly,
I'm
you should mention your
grateful.
book because it's a good book. It's an easy read and it's practical and it covers some of these things, but it's, I think it's helpful.
Sure. So it's an ebook and it's called We're Too Old for This. And it comes out just like this podcast. It comes out of this desire I have for living with more joy in my life and sharing that with others. Doing this podcast with my best friend was a joy decision that I made. I had to figure out how to do it. I had to figure out how to set things up so that Leslie could see that it's something that she could do and that she could enjoy, because I
remember
her,
that.
and I know that she would need something more than, hey, Les, I got an idea, which is the way I operate, but I know that people operate differently. And so it's a part of the way that I coach is to kind of get you to understand yourself and then to understand other people, and to use some of this knowledge if you desire to create ways of earning joyfully made money. And so this book kind of encapsulates some of the things that I've learned along my journey for more joy. And it's called We're Too Old for This, because listen, Monique is Leslie's sister. We mentioned her a few times because she's one
always
of
in my head. She's one of the most practical people I know.
Just wise, practical people. And what she always says is, there ain't too many shopping days till Christmas. And basically what that means is for those in our age group, we have lived more of a life than we have left to live. And we're too old to delay more joy. And that's what my book is all about. There's a link to it in the description. And if you'd like to get coached by me or even investigate it, you can sign up for a free consult. And I'd be happy to speak with you. And you can see whether I'm the right fit for you. And you get a free copy of my ebook when you schedule time. Anyway, that's it.
So that's what I wanted you to say.
That's it. Thank you, Les. Thank you. I appreciate this.
This has been another episode of Black Boomer Besties from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.